Hello everybody, hello everybody. I could stand here today and definitely without doubt should say I'm Mizella Jones, the Secretary of the Executive Office of Health and Human Services here in Rhode Island. I could stand here and say to you, I was the first person of color to be Deputy Chief for the state of Illinois for Child Protection. I was the first person of color to be Social Services Director in Ramsey County, Minnesota. I'm the first person of color to be Secretary of the Rhode Island Executive Office of Health and Human Services. But you know what? None of that really matters. It doesn't matter that we have 40% of the state budget, $3 billion. Because first and foremost, I'm a black mother raising 3 black children, ages 19, 21, and 24. And every single moment that they are not within my vision gaze, I'm worried. My stomach is in knots. Because all of those accolades doesn't mean anything. Me and my children, we're inherently dangerous because we were born with black and brown skin. We come from a community where there is so much hopelessness, not by choice, but because of systemic historic racism. But all of my first is an example of we're not going to just rest with the first. We need to have the second, the third, the 50th, the 2000th. But more importantly, what we need to see and what we need to recognize and understand is that it's not okay for one mother, one father to cry at night because all their child did was walk out the door and then they never came back. Now that can happen to any mother and father, but what we see over and over and over and over again is that our black and brown children aren't coming home at night. By children, my kids are not babies, they're young adults, but they're my children. They're mine. But this is the thing, every single person is ours. And we have to do a lot better of a job of ensuring that every person comes home at night. They come home unless they've lived that long, great, wonderful life and by chance and circumstances, they got called home to a higher power. But it's not acceptable for us to keep talking about this. It's not acceptable for those of us in positions of power to keep talking about our political platforms. What it's time for is for us to change this world. It's not okay. It's not acceptable. And we need to stand together to ensure that everybody's child comes home at night. And I want to thank Pastor Jenkins for inviting me to this prayer vigil. But I want to ask that we not keep having vigils, that we actually instead have celebrations because we change this world. I thank you very much for this time.